Ever get that feeling like you're just drowning in information online, trying to find the right answer? It's just links and links and links forever.
Oh yeah, totally. Information overload is a real struggle these days.
Well, Google's working on something that could totally change how we search for things online. It's called Google Gemini. And it's a whole different kind of AI.
Yeah, it's not just another algorithm tweak. This is like next level stuff.
So tell me more, like what's the big deal with Gemini?
The really cool thing about Gemini is that it's multimodal. It can understand different types of information at the same time. Text, images, videos, eventually, who knows, maybe even audio.
So it's not just looking at words on a page. It's actually like getting the whole picture, the context, by looking at images and videos too.
Exactly. It's like giving AI a more, human-like way of understanding things.
That's wild. I read somewhere that Gemini can analyze a scientific paper with all the complicated diagrams and everything and give you a summary you can actually wrap your head around.
Right. And that's something a lot of AI models, even the really advanced ones like GPT, have trouble with. They're mostly text-focused, which limits what they can understand.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. So how does Gemini actually work? How is it different?
Well, it's built to put all these different pieces of information together. It's way more powerful and flexible that way.
So where do we see Gemini in our lives? How will we use it?
Well, Google's planning to integrate it into, everything.
Everything.
Well, almost. Think Google search, obviously.
Yeah.
But also Workspace, Docs, Gmail, all that. Even the Assistant. So instead of getting a million links, you can just ask a question and have, a real conversation with Gemini to get an answer.
So, if I'm researching renewable energy for a project, I could just ask a question and Gemini would pull from articles, videos, even super complex research papers and make it all make sense to me.
Exactly. No more scrolling through pages and pages of search results or trying to decode some dense report.
That would be a game changer for anyone who needs to learn something quickly. Students, researchers, really anyone.
Oh, and there's another big thing. Gemini can actually use real-time information.
Whoa, so it's learning and updating all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not just stuck with some old data set. Imagine asking about a current event and getting an answer that takes into account the very latest developments.
Whoa, so it's constantly learning and evolving. Okay, now my mind is officially blown. But what about the creative stuff? I read something about Gemini being able to write stories, scripts, even marketing materials. Is that real?
Oh yeah, it's true. Gemini's crazy good at picking up different creative styles and making really high-quality content. All you need are a few keywords or general theme.
So, if you're a marketer, you could just give it a basic idea, and it would crank out tons of different options to choose from.
Pretty much. Think of all the time and energy that could save.
It'd be like having a brainstorming buddy who's always on call and never runs out of ideas. So it sounds like Gemini could totally revolutionize the way we use Google search too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine instead of just a page of links, you get a direct answer from Gemini, maybe with some helpful images or a video. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That's exactly what Google's aiming for. It's about moving from just giving you links to really understanding what you need and giving you insights.
So instead of spending hours trying to figure it out ourselves, we have Gemini to help us.
You got it. It would be like having your own personal research assistant.
Okay, so Google search is going to be different. But what about other stuff? How could Gemini change things in healthcare or education? What about all those other fields?
Oh, totally. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Yeah, right. I've heard people talking about Gemini's potential in tons of industries. Healthcare and education were just the first two that came to mind.
Yeah, and for good reason. Just imagine, in healthcare, doctors could use Gemini to look at medical images, analyze patient records, and stay up to date with all the newest research.
And make faster, more accurate diagnoses, right?
Right. It'd be like having another expert in the room, helping them catch things they might have missed otherwise.
So it wouldn't replace doctors. It would just be a super powerful tool to help them give even better care.
Exactly. And think about personalized treatment plans. Gemini could look at a patient's genetics, their history, their lifestyle, everything, and recommend the best therapies.
Minimizing side effects and maximizing the chances of recovery, right?
Yeah, exactly. It would be like having a whole team of specialists behind the scenes, analyzing all that data and giving doctors the information they need to make the best decisions.
And it wouldn't just be for the doctors. Patients could use it too, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Patients could ask Gemini questions about their symptoms, get info about their meds, or even find out about potential risks.
It would be like having all the answers right at your fingertips. That could help people feel so much more in control of their health.
Absolutely. And then there's education.
Right, like personalized tutoring, making learning more accessible, all that.
Imagine if every student had a personalized AI tutor that could, adapt to how they learn best.
So, no more one-size-fits-all teaching. Everyone could learn at their own pace.
That's the idea. Gemini could figure out what a student's good at, where they struggle, and give them the specific help they need.
It's like having a tutor who never sleeps and is always ready to answer your questions. That'd be amazing for students who maybe don't thrive in a traditional classroom setting.
And personalized tutoring's just the beginning. Think about creating, really engaging, immersive learning experiences.
Okay, yeah, I'm listening. What do you mean?
Imagine learning about history through interactive simulations, or understanding complex science through these incredible 3D visuals.
Oh, that would make learning so much more fun, like bringing textbooks to life. Way more exciting than just reading words on a page.
Right. And don't forget about language barriers. Gemini can help students from all over the world collaborate and learn from each other, no matter what language they speak.
Using AI to break down barriers and make education more inclusive? I love that. But, okay, we've talked a lot about the good stuff, the amazing potential. But what about the downsides? There have to be some things we need to be careful about, right?
Oh, absolutely. We can't just focus on the good and ignore the potential problems.
Yeah, like what are some of the things we need to watch out for as Gemini becomes, more a part of our lives?
Well, bias is a big one. Like any AI, Gemini learns from data. And if that data has biases, well, Gemini might pick those up too.
So it could, reinforce existing stereotypes?
Yeah, potentially. Like if the data mostly shows male scientists or doctors, Gemini might have a harder time recognizing the contributions of women in those fields.
I see. That's a big problem. So we need to be really careful about how we train these AI systems to make sure they're not making things worse.
Exactly. We need to use diverse data, make sure it's representative, and have ways to catch and fix any bias that might slip through.
Okay, so that's bias. What else should we be thinking about?
Well, job displacement is another concern. I mean, as AI gets better at doing things that humans used to do.
That's the classic AI fear, right? Robots are going to take our jobs. But AI can also create new jobs too, right?
Of course. It's like any new technology.
Yeah.
It disrupts things, but it also creates new opportunities.
So it's more about figuring out how humans and AI can work together, right?
Totally. It's not about us versus them. It's about finding ways to use AI to make our lives better.
Yeah, it feels like we're at this turning point. The decisions we make now about AI are going to be huge,
Totally. We're not just watching this happen, we're a part of it.
Right. And that means we need to be talking about this stuff, asking tough questions, making sure that AI is being developed in a way that, actually benefits humanity.
Absolutely. We need to make sure it aligns with our values.
Okay, so it's not just up to the people actually building this technology. It's on all of us, right?
Exactly. We all need to be thinking about the implications of AI.
So what can our listeners do? How can they get involved?
Well, first off, stay informed. There's a ton of information out there, both good and bad. Read articles, listen to podcasts, follow experts who know what they're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So the more you know about AI, the better you can be a part of the conversation.
Right. Knowledge is power. But it's not just about learning stuff. You got to speak up, too.
Oh, you mean not be afraid to ask questions, push back when something doesn't seem right?
Exactly. Talk to your elected officials, engage with the companies that are developing AI. The more people who make their voices heard, the better chance we have of shaping the future of AI in a positive way.
Yeah, if we don't speak up, who will? This has been such a fascinating look at Google Gemini. Really eye-opening. But before we wrap things up, I'm curious, what excites you the most about Gemini? And what worries you?
That's a good question. What excites me is the potential to really unlock human creativity and problem solving.
Okay, I like that. Can you elaborate?
Well, imagine a world where anyone, no matter who they are or what their background is, has the tools and knowledge they need to make their ideas a reality.
Like democratizing innovation, making it accessible to everyone. That's a beautiful thought.
Yeah, it is.
But, there has to be a but, right? What are you most concerned about with Gemini?
Well, like we said before, bias is a big one. We have to be incredibly careful to make sure AI systems like Gemini aren't perpetuating inequalities.
Right. We don't want to solve one problem just to create a new one.
Exactly. And we have to be prepared for potential disruptions, to our economy, our society. There's going to be some bumps along the way.
Yeah, AI is going to change a lot of things, that's for sure. So it's about finding that balance, right? Embracing the incredible potential, but being aware of the risks, too.
I think that's a great way to put it.
So for our listeners, I think the takeaway here is be excited about AI, but be cautious, too.
AI is a powerful tool. It's up to us to make sure we use it for good.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that's it for our deep dive into Google Gemini. We've covered so much today, from the amazing things it can do to the challenges we need to address.
It's been a great conversation.
Gemini has the potential to change the world, and it's up to all of us to shape that change. So keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep pushing for a future where AI benefits all of humanity. Thanks for joining us.